You've been texting for weeks. You have inside jokes. You've even met their dog. There's just one tiny problem. You have absolutely no idea what you are. If that feels painfully familiar, you're not alone. That feeling is a warning sign, and it's the first of many we're going to talk about. My name is Gilk, and I spend way too much time thinking about why we don't see the red flags that are practically waving in our faces. If you're someone who finds yourself ignoring the signs that everyone else saw from the start, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button if this video helps you out. Look, we all think we're logical. We make pro and con lists, we consult our friends, we think we're carefully vetting our romantic partners like we're hiring for a job. But the data shows that's a complete illusion. Here's the thing, we're not that choosy. In fact, we're biologically and socially programmed to do the exact opposite of being careful. This is what most people don't realize. The cultural narrative tells us that dating is a test phase, a trial period where we carefully evaluate a partner for long-term compatibility. But a groundbreaking study in 2021 in the Personality and Social Psychology Review found that this is largely a myth. The researchers, Samantha Joel and Jeff McDonald, identified something called the progression bias. That's right. Your brain's default setting isn't no or maybe, it's yes, let's keep this going. This bias is a cocktail of biological, social, and psychological factors. First, you have the biology. When you meet someone new and feel that spark, your brain's reward pathways, the same ones that light up for chocolate or winning the lottery, go into overdrive. It's a flood of dopamine and oxytocin. Your brain is essentially giving you a chemical reward for moving the relationship forward. It feels good, so you keep doing it. Then there's the social pressure. Think about it. Every movie, every song, every holiday is geared towards being in a couple. There's a very real stigma against being single, what researchers call singleism. So we're not just fighting our own brain chemistry, we're fighting a cultural tidal wave that tells us being in a relationship is the ultimate goal. And here's where it gets really interesting. We're terrified of rejecting people. Studies show that would-be rejectors experience immense guilt and anxiety about hurting someone's feelings. So, to avoid that uncomfortable feeling, what do? We agree to another date. We keep the text chain going. We avoid the hard conversation, and in doing so, we reinforce the progression bias. We're not choosing our partners from a neutral position. We're starting the race with our foot already on the gas pedal, heading straight for a relationship, whether it's a good one or not. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Gilk, but I'm smart. I can spot a bad apple. Can you, though? Because for the first few months, you're not dating a person, you're dating their representative, their ambassador, their highly curated, best foot forward, flaw-hiding avatar. This is the honeymoon phase, and it's a psychological masterpiece of self-marketing. It's what behavioral scientists call a peacock dance. Both of you are fanning your feathers, showing off your most attractive qualities, and strategically hiding the less desirable ones. He's not just messy, he's a creative free spirit. She's not controlling, she's organized and knows what she wants. This is where the primacy effect kicks in, a classic Psychology Today article. Our first impressions are incredibly powerful. They create a lens through which we view everything else. If your first impression is, wow, they're amazing, your brain will then engage in confirmation bias. You will actively, though subconsciously, seek out information that confirms your initial belief and ignore information that contradicts it. That time he was rude to the waiter? Oh, he was just having a stressful day. The fact that she talks about her ex constantly? She's just being open and vulnerable. These aren't just excuses. This is your brain working to protect its initial investment. You're motivated to believe in the idealized image you've created because, let's be honest, being single can be lonely and frustrating. This is what psychologists call motivated perception. You want it to work, so you see what you want to see. But here's the brutal truth. The honeymoon phase always ends. Your feet touch the ground, and the person you're left with is not the ambassador you met. It's the real person with all their real, unfiltered flaws. This brings us back to that feeling from the beginning, the situationship, the almost relationship. It's the modern dating purgatory, and it's a direct result of these psychological forces. It looks like a relationship, it feels like one. You have the intimacy, the inside jokes, the emotional connection, but there's no clarity, no commitment. Research shows that these situationships are brutal on our mental health, leading to higher anxiety and lower self-esteem. We stay because we're afraid to ask for more, fearing we'll lose the little we have. This is the progression bias hitting a wall. Your brain wants to move forward, but the other person is hitting the brakes. The ambiguity is the red flag. And this is why the statistics are so grim. Are you ready for this? According to multiple studies, including one prominently featured on LinkedIn by matchmaker Trudy Gilbert, a staggering 70% of relationships fail within the first year. 70%. That's not a coin flip, that's a catastrophic failure rate. Why? Because the first year is when the honeymoon phase dies and the real person emerges. It's when the confirmation bias can no longer fight off the mountain of evidence that this person is in fact not the perfect being you thought they were. It's when you realize you're not dating your partner, you're dating your future ex. So why do we stay even when we see the signs? We've been in it for 6 months, a year, we've invested time, emotions, energy. This is the sunk cost fallacy. It's an economic principle, but it's devastating in relationships. We think, I've already put so much into this, I can't just walk away now. We stay not because the future looks bright, but because the past feels heavy. We're trying to justify our past investment, even if it means sacrificing our future happiness. We cling to the belief that we can fix them, that our love will be the magic ingredient that changes their fundamental personality. Newsflash, it won't. As Dr. Lawrence Josephs puts it, you have to ask yourself one critical question. Can I still love this person despite their character flaws if they prove beyond fixing? If the answer is no, you have to move on. So how do you do that? How do you fight your own brain? Name the bias. Just knowing about the progression bias is half the battle. Remind yourself, my brain is wired to say yes. I need to consciously and deliberately apply the brakes. You are not a passenger, you are the driver. Create an anti-confirmation list. You have a list of all their good qualities. Now make a private, honest list of the red flags, the things that give you that little pit in the stomach. Don't make excuses for them. Just write them down. Look at it. Does the evidence point to a healthy future? Conduct a relationship audit at 90 days. The 3-month mark is critical. The honeymoon phase is starting to fade. Sit down and ask yourself honestly, do I feel more anxious or more secure than I did on day 1? Do I feel respected? Do I feel like I can be my authentic self? Don't ask, do I like them? Ask, how do I feel in this relationship? Embrace the discomfort of rejection. Realize that the short-term discomfort of ending things is infinitely better than the long-term misery of staying in the wrong relationship. The guilt you feel for rejecting someone is temporary. The regret of wasting years of your life is not. Look, the point of this isn't to be cynical about love. It's to be realistic about our own psychology. We are not rational creatures when it comes to romance. We are biased, hopeful, and often blind. But by understanding these biases, the progression bias that pushes us forward, the confirmation bias that blinds us, and the sunk cost fallacy that keeps us stuck, we can start to make better choices. We can learn to spot our future ex before they become our current nightmare. Your heart is not a fixer-upper project. It's the most valuable asset you have. Invest it wisely. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more content that breaks down the psychology behind our biggest life decisions, and hit that like button to let me know. Now, go out there and make some smart choices.